At Thanksgiving, my dad clinked his glass and said, "Here, as to the son who never amounted to anything." I pulled out my phone, transferred him $2, and said, "Consider it paid in full." My brother smirked. "Next year, don't bother showing up. You embarrass us." I leaned back, smiled, and said, "To my brother, eating on my dime, until tonight." I drove home, cut every payment, blocked every auto-debit, and slept better than ever. "Don't you dare walk out again, Jonas!" The chair leg scraped the floor as my father lurched forward, his glass still trembling from the toast that had cut me open minutes earlier. My brother, Reese, smirked like he'd been waiting all night for this circus. Mother pressed both palms flat on the table, whispering prayers that didn't belong in this room anymore. The air smelled of turkey fat and whiskey. My own fork clattered as I dropped it. "You ungrateful boy," Dad snarled, his words soaked in liquor. "You think $2 makes us even? You think that clears your debt?" I didn't move. I didn't flinch. And then Reese leaned back, lips curled. "Why don't you tell them what you really did, Jonas?" Who I'm a Jonas, 26. My name sounds like it belongs to someone stronger than me. For most of my life, I kept my head down, worked double shifts, paid bills that weren't mine. I never shouted in this house. Silence was my weapon, my shield, my punishment. But silence holds more than pain. Silence remembers. And I've been carrying something they don't know I know. Something that could burn this family to ash. Family members introduced. Reese, 28, the golden son. Sharp suit, slick hair, a smile that slices instead of warms. Dad's pride. Naomi, 22, youngest sister. Sharp-tongued, forever scrolling her phone, pretending she doesn't hear the fights but living for the drama. Mother, Evelyn, a woman who folds herself smaller each year, crying without sound, pouring coffee she never drinks. Father, Martin. Old factory hands, whiskey belly, voice like a gavel. He thinks authority equals respect. The table creaked as Naomi muttered, "Just admit it, Jonas. You've always been the screw-up." My father nodded at her, proud. And I saw it. None of them expected me to answer, but I was done being their ghost. The real fight wasn't about $2, it was about the house that had swallowed my paychecks, my sleep, my 20s. Dad slammed his palm on the table so hard the glasses rattled. "Your brother's taking over the mortgage, Jonas. You can't even manage your own rent, so don't pretend you'll handle this place." I laughed. Not a polite laugh, not a nervous one. A laugh that cut. "I've been paying this mortgage for 2 years. Reese hasn't touched a dime." The silence landed like a gunshot. Mother's spoon froze in the air, coffee dripping back into the cup like slow rain. Naomi's eyes flicked to Reese. The smirk slid right off his face. He shifted. Too quick. Too guilty. I leaned back, folding my arms. Funny thing about lies. They rot fastest when the truth walks in. "Lies!" Reese spat, voice cracking at the edges. "You just want credit for scraps. You think handing over money makes you a man?" I pushed my chair closer, the wood groaning like it hated me too. "You think this is about money?" My voice was low, steady, almost cruel. "No, Reese, it's about how you all fed off me. And I let you." Naomi tried her usual performance, rolling her eyes, half laughing, but her hand shook as she set her phone down. She wasn't recording this. She wasn't in control anymore. Mother whispered, "Not tonight. Please, not tonight." Her plea was a paper umbrella in a storm. I was past mercy. 2 years ago, in the garage that smelled of oil and broken promises, Dad had cornered me. His breath was bourbon fire. "Your brother can't get approved for a loan," he barked. "You'll sign, you'll pay. You owe this family." I was 24, exhausted, my uniform still damp from a 12-hour night shift. My hands shook as I held the pen. I signed, I paid. Reese flaunted new cars. Naomi posted selfies on beaches. And me? I came home to overdue bills and a father who sneered when I looked tired. Mother had watched, not stopped, not spoken. Her silence was the nail hammered into my back every month I mailed a check. Tonight, silence broke. Stop! Mother cried suddenly. Her voice cracked, but it cut through the shouting. Jonas is right. He's been paying. I knew. I let it happen. The room snapped like glass underfoot. Reese shot up, face red, finger stabbing the air. You what? Dad slammed his glass down, whiskey splattering across the table like blood. You lied to me, Evelyn? You knew? Mother's shoulders collapsed inward, but her words didn't stop. It was the only way to keep the house. Reese would have lost it all. Jonas saved us. I sat back, calm, watching their empire of lies eat itself alive. Because this truth, I'd carried it like a bomb. And now, it wasn't just mine to hold. The living room turned into a storm. Dad's rage wasn't even aimed at me anymore. It ricocheted to Mother, to Reese, to anyone close enough to bleed. You betrayed me, he bellowed at her. You ruined this family. Reese hurled back at me. Naomi tried to slip out, but I caught her stare. For the first time, she didn't look smug. She looked small. Her lips trembled before she whispered, almost too soft to hear. Jonas, don't. She was scared of what else I might say. Scared I had more truth tucked away, and she was right. I stood, pushing back from the table, my voice sliced through the chaos like a blade. I gave you all my silence. Tonight, I give you the truth. They froze. Even Dad's roaring halted for a breath. Mother's eyes filled, not with relief, but regret. Naomi's phone lay forgotten. Reese's jaw clenched hard enough to break teeth. I pulled my coat from the chair. Heavy, weighted with years of swallowed words. Mother's voice followed me, trembling. I'm sorry, Jonas, I should have stopped it. My hand rested on the doorknob. I didn't turn. They'll never see me the same again, and I don't need them to. The night air hit me like freedom, sharp and clean. My phone buzzed, auto-draft alerts. I canceled every one. One click at a time, I cut the strings. Behind me, the house could burn. Let them choke on their own smoke. For the first time, I wasn't paying their price. Days later, I sat on my porch. My coffee. No raised voices. No silent debts. The air was quiet enough to hear my own heartbeat. I thought of Dad's face, purple with rage when the truth landed. Of Reese's fury, the mask torn away. Of Naomi's first real fear, not for me, but of me. And Mother's confession, a lifeline tossed too late. I lifted the mug to my lips, the taste richer than anything I'd bought with borrowed years. For once, I wasn't anyone's ghost. I wasn't their scapegoat. I wasn't their wallet. I whispered to the empty street, almost laughing as the words finally left my mouth. Consider it paid in full. And this time, the silence that followed belonged only to me. If you were in my place, would you forgive, or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters here. Subscribe for more raw, emotional stories. Like if Jonas's silence and strength hit you deep, share your thoughts. Let's build a space where pain turns into healing.